After meeting my boyfriend's friend, I realized I picked the wrong person. I'd been with Bennett for 8 months. He was fun at first, but lately I'd been making excuses. He's stressed with work. He doesn't handle pressure well. He needs his space. Last Tuesday destroyed every excuse. I was at Bennett's place waiting for him to get back from the gym. We'd planned to meal prep together since I'd been asking him to eat healthier with me for weeks. He finally agreed. I was chopping vegetables in his kitchen when I heard rushing water. Loud. I walked toward the bathroom and stepped in a puddle. The toilet was overflowing. Water everywhere, spreading fast across the hardwood. I panicked and called Bennett. He picked up annoyed, music blasting behind him. I told him the toilet was flooding. He sighed like I was interrupting something important. Said he was mid-workout. Just turn off the valve behind the toilet. He'd deal with it when he got home. Hung up. I tried turning the valve off but couldn't. Water kept pouring. I grabbed every towel I could find, almost crying, trying to stop the flood. That's when I knocked at Caleb next door, his friend. He saw the disaster and immediately dropped his gym bag, asked what happened. I explained through tears that Bennett told me to shut off the valve, but I couldn't reach it. Caleb didn't hesitate. Waded into the bathroom, turned off the valve in seconds, started helping me clean up water. We worked together for 20 minutes. Neither talking much, just focused on damage control. When most of the water was gone, Caleb asked if I'd called a plumber. I said Bennett told me he'd handle it later. Caleb pulled out his phone right then, called a plumber he knew, got someone scheduled within the hour. Then he looked at me and asked if I was okay. Actually waited for my answer. I started crying again because nobody had asked me that. Caleb got me water, told me to sit, said everything would be fine, kept cleaning while I collected myself. The plumber came 40 minutes later. Caleb handled everything, explained the problem, answered questions, took charge. I just sat there feeling taken care of for the first time in months. Bennett showed up 2 hours after my call, saw Caleb with the plumber and asked what was going on. Caleb explained the flood and the repairs. Bennett looked at me and said, "Why didn't you just handle it?" I stared at him. I'd called him panicking and he'd blown me off to finish his sets. Caleb stepped in, said I'd done everything I could, that it was serious, that I'd handled it well. Bennett shrugged, said it wasn't a big deal. These things happen. Started complaining about the plumber bill. Caleb looked uncomfortable, said he'd give us space, headed to his house. Before leaving, he checked on me one more time, asked if I needed anything. Bennett didn't even notice. I tried talking to Bennett about how scared I'd been. He barely listened, said I overreacted. It was just water. He would have dealt with it eventually, that I should have waited instead of getting Caleb involved. He was more upset his friend helped than about me dealing with a crisis alone. Later, Caleb knocked on Bennett's door, said the plumber was done, left a bill. Bennett complained about the cost. Caleb offered to split it. Bennett grumbled, but agreed. Before leaving, Caleb looked at me and said he hoped I was feeling better. That floods are stressful and I'd handled it well. Bennett was scrolling his phone. Something in me broke. Caleb had shown up, taken charge, made sure I was okay. Bennett couldn't put down his phone to acknowledge what happened. Over the next few days, I couldn't stop replaying it, how different they were. Caleb treated the emergency like it mattered. Bennett treated me like an inconvenience. I'd been accepting bare minimum for months, telling myself Bennett's indifference was just his personality, that wanting someone who showed up was asking too much. 2 weeks later, I ended it. Bennett seemed confused, said I was being dramatic over plumbing, told me everything I needed to know. A few months later, I ran into Caleb at a coffee shop. We talked about that day. He admitted he'd been shocked by how Bennett reacted, said he wanted to say something but didn't want to overstep. I thanked him for being there. He said of course anyone would have done the same, but that wasn't true. My boyfriend hadn't. Sometimes watching someone else step up shows you the person you're with has been letting you down. Not because you want that other person, but because they show you what basic care looks like, and once you see it, you can't unsee it.